Let's make Kuri Khitchri together. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take out all the ingredients that you need, and we're gonna need about 3 to 4 pots. I would say 2 big pots and 2 small pots. This is prep time, so we're first gonna chop our onions. So about 1.5 onions, you're gonna chop them. I'm using this chopper because it's so much quicker. And then we're also gonna wanna cut some potatoes, about 3 to 4 big potatoes. I have baby potatoes in the fridge. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut them into thin slices. I'll show you how they should look. Make sure that you wet the blade a little bit because it cuts way smoother. Okay, so you're literally gonna put the onion here and you have to slam quite hard. And there we go. You can see the onions quite nicely. So we're gonna do that the rest. Onions are ready, and now we're gonna cut the potatoes. Okay, I wanna make like a tomato chutney tuna thing, which I've never made before with Kuri Khitchri. So we're gonna add in 2 small tomatoes. This is gonna be a squirt. Oh, not too bad. Let's see how the tomatoes turned out. Perfect. And I'm not peeling the skin because no. So I usually cut the tomatoes in half and then I put it like this and then I just down. Now we are going to chop the potatoes in thin slices, so about this thin here, so they fry quickly. And you want them to kind of get crispy and a little bit brown. That's why I don't like them to cut them too thick. And also, you guys remember, if the potato is smaller, the potatoes will cook quicker. So basically, about 3 to 4 big potatoes. Again, I'm using small potatoes. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put the potatoes in the pan that I am going to use. You do need a big pan, a pan that you can also cover so that the potatoes really cook nicely. We are just gonna spice the potatoes. So you're gonna put some olive oil, just so that's coated well. 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt, and make sure you get it all over the potato. We are gonna use our hands to kind of mix up the potato so the spices go everywhere. For spices, we are doing 2 teaspoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon chili flakes, some curry leaves, 1 teaspoon jeera seeds, and 1 teaspoon turmeric powder. And we're just gonna add this in, and then we're gonna mix this up with a spoon to make sure each piece is covered. You can use your hands. I'm just gonna use a spoon here, and you are gonna put some water in this, so most of the spices will get into all of the potato. You are supposed to add a 1/4 cup of olive oil, so I feel like I didn't add that much, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more because I feel like when I'm mixing it, there wasn't enough. You are then going to add 1/2 cup of boiling water, mix that up and cover it. What you want is your potatoes to get kind of like a light brown and to be crispy. I'll show you guys what that looks like. So just mix it up there with the water, and then we're just gonna cover it and let it simmer and cook while we do the rest of the steps. Just covering it there, and let's move on to the rice. Okay, so now for the rice, I'm using bimri rice and split moong dal. I've already mixed mine, but you're basically supposed to mix it in equal. So if you use 3/4 cup split moong dal, then use 3/4 cup bimri rice. This basically makes the kitchri. You can also use normal rice and just use turmeric and make it into a yellow rice, so basically basmati. So it's totally up to you depending on what you have. And I usually do 1.5 cup for the family, just so that it can be a meal for 2 days. So, and we're gonna wash the rice. I usually wash it 3 times, so wash it once, drain, wash it again, drain, wash it again, drain, and then I add hot water and put it on the stove. Okay, so we're just gonna wash the rice there, and I like to put my hand in to make sure all the rice gets kind of washed. And then you just drain all the water out just like that. Make sure you're not losing any rice. Okay, so now we're gonna add completely like boiling water, and you're gonna add it so it's double, so the water is basically double the amount, if that makes sense. And we're just gonna let this boil. We are gonna add some butter, just a little bit, you can say 2 tablespoons, and some salt. And you want this to boil till it's sticky. So if you feel like there's not enough water, just add like a 1/4 cup of water each time, just so that there's not too much water. Now this is gonna be your curry pan. So we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 2 teaspoons of jeera seeds, and some curry leaves. Let's not forget 1 medium onion. We're gonna braise this till it's kind of like a medium brown. And I wanna leave a little bit onion left for the tuna chutney. So So I think this should be enough there. And just mix this us a little bit. Make sure the stove is on. I usually put it on 6. I have an electric stove, so just work with the stove that you have. Okay, and now for the tuna kind of thing, we're gonna add about 1/4 of an onion and 2 tomatoes. So the tomatoes that you chopped, we're gonna put that in there. Let's not forget some butter. 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon jeera powder, and 1 teaspoon chili powder. And we're just gonna mix this up nicely and let it cook till the onion is also a little bit medium brown. We are checking on the potatoes. I'm just gonna move everything around to make sure that everything is getting flavored and cooked nicely. And we're gonna close it again. We are gonna keep an eye on these two because with the onions, you have to make sure that obviously they're braising and they don't burn. So they need to be kind of like a medium brown, right? So you do have to keep an eye on them and mix them. For them to braise, they take about 15 to 20 minutes. I just finished with the mint, but now I just wanna make sure that my onions don't kind of burn on one side. Basically, I'm checking on this one, and the potato, right? Just to make sure everything is mixing well and it's all getting cooked nicely. And then I'm gonna check on the potatoes, and then I'm gonna do the coriander. And now we're just gonna put the coriander in. And as I see very, very thick stems, I'm just gonna take these out, but I'm leaving the thinner stems in. As I said, it gives a lot of flavor. Someone told me that, I was like, oh my God. 1 chili, 3 tablespoons of yogurt, and we're gonna add 5 cloves of garlic. And don't forget, in between all these steps, check on your potato, check on all your onions, and just give a little mix of the rice. I think the rice is the least one you need to pay attention to. Okay, so you can see these onions are almost done, so we can basically, I'm gonna put it on low because I still need to blend the food processor. Okay, so 5 cloves, and we're gonna blend this. Whenever I do these type of meals, the kitchen is an absolute mess. Oop, I didn't put it on as usual. This is what it's gonna look like. It smells so good. Okay, so you can see the onions are ready. So you are going to add the thing that we processed in the braised onions, because this is for our curry. And then you're just going to mix this there. Let's not forget to check on this guy here. And also check on the rice. It needs to be really soft. It's not soft enough, so I'm gonna add some water, a little bit. So you add about 1/4 cup of water at a time. And then just mix that up and leave it. And then don't forget to make sure the potatoes are being mixed. You can see they're getting that like brown vibe, so just make sure they all get brown. Oh, it looks so good. The last thing we have to mix is 1 kg of normal yogurt, 2 tablespoons of gram flour, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt. And you're just gonna mix this in, and then we're gonna add it to that green masala pot with the braised onions. Okay, so you're gonna add this right over here. And make sure you mix that, and then we're just gonna let it boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. Rice has dried up. We need to add a little bit more water because it's not soft enough. If you feel like the potato is sticking, just add a little bit or more olive oil and you should be fine. But it's literally almost done because it's getting that brown coating. Here, we're just gonna add about 1 to 2 cans of tuna. Make sure you drain the liquid and just pop it in there. And mix it in here. Potatoes are ready. For the curry, I'm adding 1/2 cup of water because I like it to be a little bit watery. Everything looks so delicious. Thank you for watching. By the way, you can serve it with popper if you like, but yeah, let me know if I should do more cooking videos like this. Bye guys. Dinner is served.